Hello. Hello and welcome again. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. I want to change the atmosphere a little this week and be a bit more optimistic because while we're all suffering restrictions on our lives from the COVID-19 crisis, um, things aren't all that bad. I mean, here, for instance, the skies are blue, the air is clear. It's nice and quiet, except for the bikers who come down on bank holiday weekends. Um, and to a large extent, frankly, it's quite enjoyable. I had a delivery of wine this morning, so that will see us through the rest of the week. Um, but turning to business, I've been looking, as I always do, at the announcements from various companies operating in the chemical supply chain. And other dangerous goods areas. And most of them, I have to say, are not doing too bad. There have been a lot of disruptions. They have had to be nimble and agile and respond to those changes. There's a lot of the midstream players in the US oil patch have taken a big hit in terms of impairments in their first quarter figures. But that's more to do, I think, with the oil price. And to some extent, obviously, the loss of demand for end products. But by and large, what I've seen is that companies are doing, reasonably well. And there's an upside to the lockdown. We were talking earlier to Dorothea Arntz, who's Director General of the European Association of Chemical Distributors, FEC. And I'll be disappointed not to be catching up with FEC in person at their planned annual Congress in Milan next month, which has been cancelled. Not least because I've never been to Milan and it's on my list of places to go to. But Dorothea had a few things to say about what the COVID-19 crisis means for chemical distributors. In Europe in particular, but I think the same holds for operators in the rest of the world. For a start, she said that diversification is key, and those distributors who have a broad portfolio of products to put to market have been protected to a large extent against the worst of the lockdown effects. And that is in the nature of distributors. They do, by and large, have a wide portfolio of products drawn from a variety of principles. And so, it's not exactly business as usual, but it is business, and business is pretty good. She also pointed out that what the lockdown has done has highlighted the importance of free trade. And a global economy, and the problems that did occur in Europe early on in the lockdown process, where different member states in the EU put in place border restrictions, often at short notice, and the problems that caused deliveries, because it's interconnected and supply chains have been optimized to take advantage of that. What she says is one lesson learned is that free trade is beneficial for all, and that can mitigate the consequences of force majeure like the COVID-19 lockdown. She also mentioned sustainability and the circular economy in particular. It's something that I think she's right to say has gone a bit quiet since the lockdown started. We have other things to worry about. I'm still putting my recycling out, but perhaps not being as thinking that much about the circular economy and sustainability as I might otherwise do. But she said that in the medium to long term, these are aspects that hauliers and distributors are going to have to look at, and that perhaps this phase will accelerate that process. But she was also talking about digitalisation, and how the pandemic has highlighted, I think, for many people, the value of the information that they can get, they can draw from their digitized systems. Because, as I said at the beginning, this is a time to be agile and to respond to very rapid and very major changes in demand patterns. And those companies, especially those in the logistics field, who have the information available, can respond quicker. And so maybe those who haven't yet gone down the path towards digitalisation might decide to hurry themselves along a bit. We shall see. But one of the other things that cropped up, and I was very interested to read this, it was some data provided by Abbey Logistics, which is a significant road tanker operator in the food grade sector in the UK. And their CEO, Steve Granite, said, we've all been trading in incredibly challenging circumstances, but as a result of quieter roads, apart from bikers, we've seen an improvement to customer service and savings in repair and maintenance and an increase in miles per gallon, as well as nearly 6% increase in the average speed of our fleet. This means the fleet is doing more with less, and our assets are much more productive and require less repair and maintenance, thanks to more consistent driving. What Abbey did then was get together with Microlise, a data solutions provider, to examine in greater detail what exactly its fleet was doing at the moment. And what they found, comparing the 30 days before the lockdown in the UK with the 30 days after, they found that average speeds improved over the fleet by 5.66%, that miles per gallon increased by 2.6%, that CO2 emissions improved by nearly 4%. That means they're reduced by another 4%. And driver behaviour was a lot better. There was a lot less over-revving, a lot less engine idling because they weren't in traffic jams as much. An increase in what they call green band driving, that is to say in the most optimum range, and an increase in the use of cruise control. And Steve said, we've registered positive results across all metrics. Increasing average speed of miles per gallon contributes to significant cost savings, obviously. When you combine this with improvements across driving behaviour and environmental impact, the results are compelling. We have a perfect opportunity to rethink our operations model and to do things differently. Longer delivery windows and more nighttime deliveries provide for a more cost-effective and reliable customer service. Now, this is something we've been talking about for years, that hard-pressed hauliers operating on wafer-thin margins need to sweat their assets better. And things like nighttime deliveries is an obvious one where it's possible. What they're doing, of course, is calling on shippers and consignees to make their facilities available for nighttime pickups and deliveries. And the nighttime driving that, again, will, to some extent, once we get out of lockdown, will be more similar to the current conditions that that Abbey is finding so positive. So that's some good news, I think, but also points to some learnings that we may take from this period once we get out of it. How long that's going to be, heaven only knows. Like I say, I'm sitting pretty here and I'm quite happy, and I hope you are too, and I hope you're keeping well. And I should look forward to talking to you again next week. For now, thanks for watching. Bye.